Cerule, those folks up at Klamath Lake, Oregon, have done it again. They have come up with a totally unique product which utilizes all natural ingredients to support everyday health concerns. After 18 years of research and dozens of scientific studies, 8 years ago, Cerule put up Stem Enhance Ultra, or SEU. SEU utilizes a unique freshwater microalgae that only grows in the volcanic sediment of Klamath Lake. SEU helps your natural immune system's ability to send adult stem cells into your bloodstream. Adult stem cells are the body's natural healers, renewing and repairing the tissues and organs as they age. It was an instant hit. People who had been unable to find help for a wide variety of medical problems found startling results from SEU. Now Cerule has come up with a new product that may be just as big. It's called Collagen Active. There are probably 50 different companies selling collagen products today. Typically, they consist of bovine collagen, ground-up cow bones. But Cerule took an entirely different approach. They returned to waterborne ingredients again. Collagen Active utilizes marine collagen peptides 1 and 3. When combined with spirulina extract, works in tandem with SEU, reducing inflammation, which is the root cause of many of our common ills today. As inflammation subsides in the blood vessels, less congestion and more nutrients surge through the body, including adult stem cells. Your skin depends on constantly rebuilding collagen, as do your bones. For me, I noticed in the 3 weeks I've taken it so far that the old man wrinkles were creeping onto the back of my hand, but they started to reverse. It also smooths out your hair and nails, helps you rebuild bone tissue, and reduces pain in the joints. It also has a soothing effect on the gut. Cerule has made a special deal for our viewers only, 10% off Collagen Active and up to 20% off for a combo deal with Stem Enhance Ultra. The only catch is that this deal only lasts until midnight, November 30th. Simply click on this link in the description box below. Good evening. I'm still reporting on the coup. Today is the 60th anniversary of the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Yesterday, Newsmax's top show host, former Marine pilot Greg Kelly, put up a short piece of commentary noting the anniversary. Although Kelly is usually right on things, he made a few mistakes here.
November 22nd, 1963. That's 60 years ago tomorrow that John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. You know, for a long time, I was quite naive about this whole matter. And for reasons I don't quite understand, very powerful people, even more powerful than the President of the United States, wanted him gone. Now, a couple of little things. You know, Kennedy actually stayed overnight. His last night was spent at the Texas Hotel. That's in Fort Worth, or the Hotel Texas, I believe. You can still go there and stay. But this is one thing that bothers me about, well, the Secret Service, the men who were charged with protecting Kennedy's life. This was basically swept under the rug.
I really like Greg Kelly. He brings a refreshing military perspective to Newsmax, and that usually serves him well. However, Greg, you really needed researchers on this topic who have followed the research developments over the years. This may have been swept under the rug for the first couple of years, but what you are about to say has been common knowledge amongst the researcher community for at least 50 years.
But did you know that the men who were guarding President Kennedy, supposed to guard him, went out and partied the night before the assassination, some until 5 in the morning. 5 in the morning.
Roger that, 5 a.m. However, how could you neglect the proven fact regarding where they were partying? They were partying at Jack Ruby's Bar and Strip Club. Yes, the mafia-associated figure who then assassinated the purported assassin, Lee Harvey Oswald, a few days later, right in front of national TV cameras, and in 1963 that was a considerable trick. It was the age-old game of pin the blame for the assassination on the predetermined patsy, then kill the patsy.
I know that there are heroes like Clint Hill, and I respect Clint Hill. Clint Hill was one of the guys who fessed up. Yeah, we went out, but it didn't affect my performance that day. They never should have been out. I'm sorry. And I mention it now because the Secret Service still gets caught in that stuff periodically. I mean, maybe they got to start picking, only Mormons can be on the Secret Service. I don't know, but they got to fix that. Happens in Colombia, it happens. It still happens. That has to stop. If you look at the Zapruder film, frame by frame, well, a lot of interesting things in this film. Now, people can disagree, but I am convinced that the shots did come from the 6th floor of the school book depository, and that Oswald was the guy who fired down Elm Street, and it was possible for a marksman, even of his, some would say, mediocre ability, to kill him. It really wasn't that hard of a shot.
Yes, there were a lot of interesting things in the Zapruder film, the most interesting of which proves that the kill shot did not come from Oswald's rifle, but from in front of the presidential limo and to its right. I could go into all sorts of evidence of this, but I only need to belabor the point with this simple illustration. With the first shot, you see in the Zapruder film that the president clutches his throat. Experts believe that he probably could have survived this. However, the subsequent kill shot threw President Kennedy's head backwards and blew a large chunk of his brain out, which landed on the trunk lid of the presidential limo about 2 feet behind where Jackie Kennedy was sitting. I just can't stand to look at the Zapruder film one more time, but it is probably still readily accessible on the internet. Secret Service guy Clint Hill, whom Greg mentions, is seen sprinting towards the Kennedy's car because it looks like Mrs. Kennedy is trying to escape the vehicle back over the trunk. But no, we now know that she was trying to retrieve the chunk of the president's brain lying on the top of the trunk. What a brave wife. Throwing Kennedy's head backwards actually presented quite a problem to the conspirators, who in the aftermath continued to insist that Kennedy was only hit once from the rear. They even went so far as to sacrifice God only knows how many goats to try to demonstrate that a shot from the rear would cause the head to jerk backwards. They never could explain why the president's brain shot out backwards as well. Yes, they were that desperate. Tomorrow, barring some unforeseen catastrophe, I will rerun as many of my Kennedy assassination videos as I can retrieve from my personal hard drives before YouTube destroyed all 4,000 plus reports in my collection on their hard drives. Now, this next nugget from Greg Kelly is very interesting and is something totally new to me.
And I believe that a lot of people knew the truth back then. Harry Truman, president, he was the 34th president of the United States. He was still alive a month after the assassination, and he wrote a very interesting note about the Central Intelligence Agency, a letter for the Washington Post, the CIA. Yeah, it was started under Truman. He actually started the Central Intelligence Agency, but 1 month after the assassination of Kennedy, he decided to air his concerns about the CIA publicly. And here's some of what he wrote. Take a look at this. I don't think he's telling the whole story, but he certainly is hinting at something. There are now some searching questions that need to be answered. I, therefore, would like to see the CIA be restored to its original assignment. Next, please. As the intelligence arm of the president, and that whatever else it can properly perform in that special field, and that its operational duties be terminated or properly used elsewhere. Next, please. We have grown up as a nation, respected for our free institutions and for our ability to maintain a free and open society. One more. There is something about the way the CIA has been functioning that is casting a shadow over our historic position, and I feel that we need to correct it. 1 month after the assassination, he writes this. What was he getting at? I don't know. Maybe we'll know in 50 years, or maybe we'll know in a little over a year. When President Trump gets back in the White House, he has to release everything. I'll be right back.
Good job, Greg. Good job. I'm still reporting from just outside the citadel of world freedom. Good day.